To be honest with you, there was a time I didn't have, I think I was telling, maybe you say, I don't know if it was one of them, and Julie, that there was a time I wasn't a fan of, we were just used to working, especially when I was working in grassroots. Okay, I told you all yesterday. And I was even, then I didn't understand anything about digital footprint. So most of my early works, you can't even find anywhere. Most of those things I did with those women, gender based, all of that. But then we realized how the world has also really become, we have entered one another to a point where you can't say, yeah, no, so it's not, sometimes you post things and people be like, are you showing off? Not necessarily.
Yeah, I'm proud.
Yes. Okay. But that post can inspire somebody else to action. It can even be the reason you are called for other bigger assignments in places.
Yeah.
You know, that's about it. So please don't let anybody bully you into, except if it's also not something you are comfortable with, it's okay. Everybody doesn't have to do that. There are people who right now still feel, just me alone, I'm okay. That's also fine. How many of you have tried, I'm sure you, let me not be sure, I guess you may have tried breakout sessions.
Yes.
Many of us, right?
Yes.
You see how you can also use online, even facilitation online, you can bring it alive by doing breakout rooms. Then you put people together in threes, in fours, so there's really no hiding. I think that answers the second leg of somebody's question yesterday, where you said, oh, how can you, I think it's my one. But you one that said was Joshua.
He responded.
He responded. So that part too.
Make it brief. Very brief. You don't have to be an expert on the topic, but you guide the process through, and I can relate to that because I facilitate on fostering school connectedness for teachers, for staff, school staff. So I'm not an educationist, but I help in creating action plans people can work on and adapt to. So I find, yes, sometimes I might feel a bit discouraged that these are more professionals in their field, but that's when it will be like, I don't just give up and yes. I love that.
The class yesterday was quite insightful for me. In fact, I'm already imagining myself facilitating a meeting and just making use of the ideas from the section yesterday, and I so much love the facilitation techniques, whereby you really need to understand the audience before you can introduce any of the techniques to them. And also, what got me more yesterday was her life story about her using her Twitter handle to just solve a problem. Of recent, I'm just trying to make use of my social media platform to just create visibility and just make things happen there. I'm still struggling with that, but yesterday I was really impressed with that, and I was like, okay, I think I can do more.
I think I'm someone that can talk, and so sometimes it's not necessarily difficult for me to stand in front of people and talk and make my point. But I'm sure my subconscious thought that was all to facilitation, but from yesterday's sessions, I know that there are techniques, I know that you have to be conscious about it. You cannot say, oh, I can talk, so I will do this. So
I think I'm also inspired hearing how, and it's also really good to do this, because some of the things you said also resonated with me. I learned from your learnings. You know, there are certain ways we interpreted some of the things we even saw that I felt, okay. You know, I was doing a lot of and it was genuine because I was processing as well. So shall we rise? A round of applause. And then we need one more. The name of your fruit that you like, and that's going to be your name for this exercise. Watermelon. You know, Jamie is everything opposite of watermelon. Watermelon is around. Watermelon is okay, so watermelon, mango. We said fruit.
What did you say?
Apple.
Mango.
Banana.
No, she took mango. Banana. So everybody.
Watermelon. Mango. Apple. Banana.
Again.
Watermelon.
Thank you very much. Now we need another, so you're doing pictures, right? So we need another volunteer, maybe our class rep. Can we give him a round of applause? So you are going to lead them safely to a destination where they'll be safe, but then they are far away, far enough not to hear us.
Okay.
Maybe somewhere in between there.
That toilet side. But it's far.
Then Princess, when you put them there, you come back. Let it not be too far, not just very close.
What's happening?
So please, guys, we have a task, and I hope you understand the assignment. I'm counting on you to understand the assignment. Now, we're going to do something, but at the same time, when each of them comes back here, whatever they say, whatever they do, I don't want you to whisper anything. I don't want you to shout what should be. Just maintain, right? Just chill, so we can have our seat now. Okay.
Not to the same market. Buy 3 baskets of red pepper, 2 truckloads of pepper spray, 1 gallon of groundnut oil, 1 ton of bush meat, 4 cutlasses and 1 boat. Lead the OMYV, say you guys, lead the OMYV fellows to the National Assembly and demand to see your representatives. When you get there, request for the mace. Organize a people parliament where all your constituents must be present. The issues to be discussed should include, but not limited to, youth development, human rights, the future of work, gender justice, and mutual respect. Share palm wine to everyone when they are leaving, and wish our Muslim faithfuls a happy Ramadan.
Instructions we give to you. Can you help us deliver to one?
They're not having this one, okay.
Everybody should be quiet.
One house.
You should go to the market.
No, this one we need the microphone for it.
No, they will hear from that side.
Okay, that's right. Please speak out.
So they said you should go to the market.
Thank you. Precious.
You get 4 bags. You shall get pepper. 4 bags of pepper, I think. Pepper spray. 1 gallon of groundnut oil. 4 cutlasses. And one thing that I can't remember. So they said you now take the, what is it called? The OMYV people to the National Assembly. You lead them to the National Assembly. You demand for their staff. You know their staff. That thing is like army. So you demand for the staff. Then you seek for a meeting. Something like that. I forgot it. Sorry, seriously, my brain is. So you seek for a meeting, like in the National Assembly, maybe. Then what you discuss is on youth participation, works like work inclusion. Sorry, to create more jobs now. You know you're working center. Equality, women, I think women participation.
Time.
Time don't do.
Just
Let him calm down.
Then after the meeting, you share palm wine for everybody, and you wish all the Muslim faithful.
Don't forget how.
One house. What did you say, Fatima? I think we're not supposed to say anything. Thank you.
You understand?
The story was like this.
Yes, that's how it is. Just manage it like
Thank you. Our rep, please, can we get up?
yes, you can.
Can we give a round of applause for watermelon? back again. Hey, Abu. Welcome. How are you? Are you good? Yeah, so Mango has something to tell you. So Mango, you are going to tell him everything that Watermelon told you. It's okay, sir.
Exactly what Jamie told me, that's what I'll tell you. Okay, watermelon. So you go to the market, you get pepper spray, and you get pepper. You shall get pepper. You get pepper, then you get pepper spray, you get a gallon of oil, you go to the National Assembly, you take the OMYV people to the National Assembly, you advocate, ask for youth participation, work inclusion, and share palm wine. Then at the end of the day, you wish them happy Ramadan Kareem.
So please, can you tell Banana everything?
Yeah, Mango told me that Watermelon goes to the market. He bought pepper and palm oil. No, pepper spray. Then he got palm oil, and then he goes to the National Assembly, and then he took OMYB people to the National Assembly for advocacy, and then they wish them Ramadan Kareem.
Watermelon went to the market. He got pepper spray, and what again? Oh, yes. He got pepper spray and palm oil. So then he took the you guys. To the National Assembly, and they wish you guys happy Ramadan.
This is scary.
One house.
Wow.
Fam. So thank you very much. Let me now read out the instruction that we all gave to Watermelon that just gave us back.
The instruction says go to the same market, buy 3 baskets of red pepper, 2 truckloads of pepper spray, 1 gallon of groundnut oil, 1 ton of bush meat, 4 cutlasses and 1 goat. Lead the OMYV, say you guys, lead the OMYV fellows to the National Assembly and demand to see your representatives. When you get there, request for the mace. Organize a people parliament where all your constituents must be present. The issues we discussed should include, but not limited to, youth development, human rights, the future of work, gender justice, and mutual respect. Share palm wine to everyone when they are leaving, and wish our Muslim faithfuls a happy Ramadan. That's us. Now, guys, wait though, I will ask each of you what went down here, because I really don't understand. But you said Watermelon was talking to Mango. He said, they said 4 pepper, I think. He said sharp pepper and pepper spray. Mace turned to staff. He said carry staff. When he said staff. Anyway, that I describe, said that thing that you badge. And staff in Yoruba, I don't know, even for everybody. You know staff, the one that Kabi is using.
I'm going to come down to start. Just like
He said, then another one thing I can't remember. He said, get one thing I can't remember. Then when you get there, talk about youth participation, and what we said was youth development. Thank you. He said, create jobs. She was saying,
Work inclusion.
and he said, work. He said, you shall. Did you not hear me? He said, did you not? He was even bullying her. Did you not hear that I said work? He said, then women participate. I mean, talk about women participation. Talk about gender justice and but I'm glad he didn't forget sharing of palm wine. And he remembered Ramadan. He said, then when she was like, this doesn't add up, he said, shall manage. So shall manage what is more like Toby. And when she handed it down, she even tried. Yeah. She handed almost everything that I did. But I think she said, no, she managed.
She thinks
Is this my brother? Oh, please don't understand what happened. You know, Apple, I think Apple is not having it. Like, which national, which? So he said he did watermelon. So he considered it done. Like, don't come to which, where are you going to do some market? So just a watermelon went to the market. He bought, and he turned it to something that has already happened. And then he said, watermelon wish them Ramadan. Then he turned the granite to palm oil. You said oil to him.
A gallon of oil.
You just said gallon of oil.
Yes.
So she didn't qualify because watermelon did not mention palm oil.
He didn't mention oil.
He just said oil. She too. But he felt why cannot just do it. So and you see how I'm going. Maybe he was trying to solve a problem. Like oil can be kerosene, it can be crude oil, it can be groundnut oil. Olive oil. But just for the purpose of National Assembly, those people then, when this my sister was going to tell us, so so, what else did you see in this exercise? Yes, please.
So, as you are passing one information to another person, because we are speaking it, oral information and everything, because it is not documented, because there's nothing for us to always refer back to.
Yes.
There will always be something missing. So, before you get to the last person, you have to
point out that we should be very careful with them say. Because someone will not tell you, you will now go and say it with your full chest. Whereas that is even different from what had happened. So.
He heard what she said and then he just said to interpret. Well, yes, exactly. So most times it's like so communication is like very funny. You have to understand that it's like you must really understand the feedback. In as much as you're trying to get an understanding, you must also understand the feedback as well.
This was supposed to be an entire presentation, but I just decided, okay, let's make it a role play so that it can also stick better, right? I'm happy with it. So somebody mentioned, which is the most important, document. Make sure to always document. So you are a facilitator of a meeting, a workshop, anything. Remember yesterday we said get a recorder. But even beyond getting a recorder now, when you have specific rules, tasks, assignment, whatever that you have come up to do, make sure that you document. Make sure that you document. Then beyond documenting, I think somebody else mentioned, maybe you said, repeat. You know, I was really hoping that Jamil would ask me, if I had to offer, like, do you want me to read it again? Yeah. You get. He could have said repeat. In fact, better than that, he could have said, can I have the book? I would have given him. But it would have spoiled our role play. I would have, he could have said, is it possible for me to have the instructions? Then I would have handed it over to him. So make sure you always repeat. Just to say, maybe somebody says, so I wish that tomorrow we'll do this. It's okay. Are you saying that? Or if I hear you correctly, which would also mean clarify. So beyond documenting, you also clarify what you are documenting. And that's the reason that sometimes we finish a meeting and we now say, okay, this is the resolution we all made, or this is we now read it out and say, did I capture everybody's thoughts? Somebody will say, no, that's not what I said. Then you correct. So you have to clarify. Even when people are talking to you, if I have a colleague that does it so annoyingly, it can. But you can't blame him for that. It's better to clarify and look like an annoying person than to, misfire. And then everybody will ask you, why didn't you ask questions? Why didn't you? Which is my next point. Ask questions. So that clarification, Neil will always say, sorry Ronke, if I hear you correctly, I'll be like, you heard me correctly now. He will say to himself, yes. But I don't blame him. It's tiring, but I love the fact that he's doing that. I don't know if you know that, even as much as recording conversations is a thing now. Maybe Zoom meeting, you say, people also, you have to take people's consent or get people's consent to record. There are meetings I'm on, I don't want you to record. They will ask, are you comfortable being recorded? I'll say no, I'm not. So in fact, like in my office, most of our meetings with external people, we don't record. Because we are also aware of how these things can work. So if there are, I think I got to a point, I was really overworked last year at some point. My assistants were gone and so on. So I needed to have some very brief meetings. I didn't have all I was moderating, so taking notes was going to be really hard for me. So I had to ask the people from across other African countries, please, is it okay if we record? And they'll say, oh yes. Or say anything that is sensitive that we don't want to talk about, or we can exchange, maybe we do, how many of you use Wire? Wire is good. It's an app. How many of you use Signal? Signal. Wire is even more secure, especially for professional, so you can use Wire. I remember sometime ago, some of our lines were being tapped, and we got to know. So we resorted to Wire. Wire is totally encrypted. They can't bug. They can't, at least for now. So it's okay. Whatever we share over Wire, that kind of thing.
WIRE.
It can be somehow to use, like you're not used to it, but then it's really good. So clarify, document, right? Clarify or ask questions. Somebody said something else that I really, yes, I think that was Fatima. Like biases can fly into undocumented lessons or instructions or even messages. So that's the part of documenting. So it's like what Joyce said, the bluntest pencil is better than the brightest brain. Simply because we have limitations, we are human beings, and you can always go back to what you wrote. So biases can always fly into undocumented messages. And then somebody else portrays and said, that's where you hear them say, to avoid them say, let it be on record, and let people confirm what you have written. Somebody spoke about how you even present it, which is true. If you notice, even my own instructions were scattered. They were just everywhere, right? And we do that sometimes, even as people who are facilitating sessions. So, at the end of the day, you are facilitating a process to help people come to certain conclusions. So you should be able to also guide that process, such that when they come to their conclusions, I think we have said that, you help them, the one you said, yes. So when you don't guide them to place priorities and put the important things first, what you need to get done can even get lost. See, at the end of the day, now all they were concerned about was palm wine and Ramadan Kareem. That was all. But then, even the things we needed to get done, the agenda, youth development, gender justice, future of work, 4 things, they were lost. You get. So if you don't prioritize even your documentation. Now let me give you an example. Maybe 7 years ago, I was telling one of my colleagues, it occurred to me that sometimes government officials don't respond to us. You write letters, especially when you write letters, they just don't respond. And that's because, number one, their attention span is short. It's so short. So if you're writing a letter to a government official or anybody, make your most important paragraph the second paragraph. We understand the opening paragraph has to introductory, and this is it. But the second thing, even from your subject, they should see what the issue is. Say letter, urgent information to your excellency. Is already urgent information. Okay, fine. That's catchy. But the information is not contained. Maybe because we also don't want to lose him from the title. Sometimes they also have biases. When they say, okay, it's about this thing, they fly off. Yeah. So that can be strategic, no problem. But first paragraph, what do we usually open with?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What's next? Hope this let's
Who you are?
this is something. I hereby write to Guinea. That's after introducing your organization. Then you now say, we want to applaud all the good works that your Excellency have. From there, you have lost him. Because those psychopaths, they have come. You know, they just to applaud the yes, it's good to appreciate people if they have done well. But then, from after introducing your mission or your organization or whatever, go straight to the point. So that those we appreciate what you have done can come last. Hope your wife is well and your children are well. We learned one of your children came first in our class and we are happy about it. Let's come last, after. You get. So it doesn't mean that you don't have, you are not humane. It just means that your important message should go first. So that was also deliberate. In writing this, I put all the palm wine, and I now went to the issue, which was at the bottom. At that point, Jamil was already exhausted, you know. What else? I think that's about it. Then there was something that came to my head, and I also failed, like they did. I didn't document it. So I hope it comes back, and then I'll say it. You picked what you wrote.
No.
So why did this person write? I like that. Oh yeah, I told you don't write your name.
They like fame. They want to be famous.
They wrote their name.
No, it's not name.
Then is what?
Eh?
Read what you have.
I think it's
Try-
Just ignore the name.
It's
If
right
there's
to
a name
fame.
on it.
Until you eventually pass.
Yeah. This is a hard saying. You can hear it. Yeah, it's inspiring. Sorry, pressure. This person, you don't need it. Oh, I can't. So please personalize it. The idea, you know what you do, allow me, please. After the class, after today, you know the person, you've seen the name. So give the person a plain one, let them rewrite it. Because the idea is for you to go and place this somewhere. Precious, I don't know how you will do it. The idea is for you to go home. How many of you have vision boards? You have a vision board.
Yeah.
If you do, please, you are supposed to stick this to it. If you don't, a place where maybe when you wake up, your eyes will likely go. One house. Thank you. Your mirror never fails.
I like my own.
Fam, don't worry. We'll get to read everything out. And
This is
I
nice.
don't know who wrote mine, but do you know I saw when I was rewrapping these things, I was like, oh, I don't want to take them. And that's why I picked.
Can you read it out to us, please?
Big the change with exclamation. Oh. Like, go and beat it. Like, I'm already inspired me. So, Precious, we love you and we wish you well. So let's start from Ose. What does yours say?
Always relentless.
Oh.
Yeah, the architect of your future, so design what you want.
Look around you. You're blessed. Think about it. Maybe you should stop thinking.
Tracy, you are kind and lovable, and the world really needs you.
And you shall become a force to reckon with in all your endeavors. You shall always stand tall.
Papillon, you are the best. You excel in all you do.
And I know that one day you will
You are strong, brave, knowledgeable, and loved.
Francis, take your time, but don't waste your time.
You're an asset wherever you are found. Never dim your light. Shine on. The universe works in mysterious ways. Somebody has received something today that probably is just all you needed. Probably it's even better than what you wrote to yourself. Or the universe has arranged it in a way that it's more of what you need than what you wrote to yourself that you thought you needed. So please keep it. Put it in. Do as I say and do as I do. Do as I say and do as I do. Oh my god, you guys are so mysterious. Jump in.
Jump in. We're supposed to say it with that.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. You do and say. You do and say what I do and say. Jump out.
Jump out.
Jump in. Jump right. Jump left. Jump left. Jump forward. Jump backward. Woo, a round of applause. Great. Stage Stage one. Yeah. Stage one. See the next thing, you say what I say, but do the opposite of what I do. You say what I say. Please take the instruction. You say what I say, right?
Use the reverse technique.
But do the opposite. No, in fact, do the opposite of what I say. So you are saying what I'm saying, but you are doing the opposite of what we are saying, right? So what did I say? Everybody? What I said. It means be rebellious. Do what I say what I say, but do the opposite of what I say, right? Jump in. Jump out. Say what I say and do the opposite. So you're supposed to say jump in and then I jump out. You're not thinking about it, or not that you're taking 2 minutes and you're not doing it. I'm not saying it now. Jump out. Jump out. Jump left. Jump right.
Very, very wrong.
Absolutely sorry. You didn't enjoy yourself. Oh, sorry. Please be careful. You do the opposite of what you say the opposite of what I say. Say the opposite of what I say. But do what I say. Say the opposite of what I say. But do what I say. Do you understand? Yeah. That's how they will say yes now. Say I'm watching. Shots fired. Say the opposite of what I say, but do what I say. Alright, I think that's it. Jump left. Jump right. Is this your right? Are you going forward? Remember, we are doing what? We are saying the opposite of what I'm saying, but you are doing what I'm saying. Very difficult. 1, 2, go. Jump back. Jump forward. Where are you going? She's so merciful because she could have stoned many people today. Okay, but let's go in. You're not presenting, then when you are talking, you don't know that you're just talking like that. Even when you're excited, you can show your excitement by being happy, and then you raise your voice a bit, even when you're happy. Thank you. No energy, no vibration. You just.
It's not a conversation.
And see, that's one of the reasons I think we're actually really blessed as Africans, especially Nigerians. Yeah. We are bitchy. Very big. I mean, and they're bleeding. All we are talking, people think we are. So when that's likely to show also in your presentation. As Africans, we have tone, we have modulation. Thank you. Did you notice something about, especially Europeans? I think now they too are getting better. And that's why it's like their presentations are sometimes boring. Because they just talk very soft. Some of our people started copying that at a time. And I felt sorry for them. I'm happy they are coming back home now to learn. Because they actually admire us for this thing. When they imagine me sharing exciting news with you, and then my face is bland, so you are like, should we laugh, should we not? And that type of thing. So that's what who else?
Make your presentation simple.
No, this is still bad. We are doing bad example. Okay.
Terrible body language.
Terrible body language. Terrible body language. Okay.
Do not read paragraphs.
No, what?
Reading.
Say. No, it's there. I think Mumi said it. Reading directly from it.
Inside like slides, whole slide should not be too
paragraphs. Body, thank you. Overworded slides. Overworded, yes. So when we get to good, we'll say the Loretta.
Do not read from a book.
Reading
Mistakes or something.
okay, slash script.
Screen of paper.
3/script. Reading from
Not making eye contact with audience, with the audience.
Lack of eye contact. That also goes with body language. And so, why do we make eye contact? Thank you, that's the word I was looking for. Connection. People need to feel like you are talking to them, not at them. Right? When I'm talking to you, it's like maintain. And I know some people can be shy. And this is where your personality also comes in. You are probably somebody who cannot even look people in the eye. Why are you now overlooking me in the eye? Now people cannot even, like, you look at them and they look away. So, but as long as you have to be a facilitator, there are certain things you can't just say, alright, now so God make me, that's how I am. You have to please try to just improve yourself, over time. Thank you very much, Victor, for the bad example. Since we have made you do the bad things, you will also facilitate. So you need to do this now. Help us to know the bad ones. You don't have to write them. We have seen the bad ones, so help us to know the good ones.
By activity, right?
Yes.
Alright, so since we've listed the bad examples, and maybe you can use reverse brainstorming and help us get the good examples that we should use. Do I have to give you volunteer or I should call you? Who will answer? Examples of good examples of a good test. Okay.
You don't back the audience, so you
Number two.
face the audience.
Face us.
Don't back the audience, except when you are writing on the flipchart board.
Alright, so okay.
Give handouts to your participants, and also you can ask them to read instead of you reading from the library.
Let's just say involve them in the reading. Number 3.
Okay.
Involve them. Involve your participants. Okay, sharp. All our answers are on that one. Oh yeah, you have problem.
Let's let other people speak.
There are no hands up. Facilitator, let's hurry up, sir.
Be time conscious also.
Let's look at.
For me, try to simplify it. Like, don't put too much text.
Short
You say precise and concise.
So
What's that?
number 7.
Yeah, 7.
Bullet points and diagrams.
Thank you.
Bullet points and diagrams.
Joey, you've not spoken.
The one you
You don't want to.
Or simplify your slides. Okay, next.
Switch off phone.
Somebody was raising hand there.
Avoid distractions.
Turn off phones.
Please, man.
Victor.
Respect your audience enough to turn off your
Avoid phone distractions.
What's that? Amara. The first word, a lot of items. The first word before a lot of items.
Carrying a lot of items.
Carrying.
You didn't see the video. So sorry.
Keep it simple.
We didn't even realize we went to break. So we saw a short video.
Use appropriate tone.
Essential material.
Essential, thank you. That's the word.
It's your laptop and
Essential material only.
like the remote.
Use appropriate.
Any other one?
Yes, there is one.
Speaking in low tone. Connect with the audience.
Use appropriate tone.
Tone, yeah. So which tone is appropriate?
So if you are sharing something exciting, your pitch has to go up and down. You can't just-
There are different
Are we good?
From the
Even the other one. Use storytelling. Now they are sharing opinions from the other one. The first one we saw before. Personal stories.
Yeah, personal stories.
Sharing personal stories.
Okay, from the two presentations,
Yes.
Chantal and
Yes.
From the previous one, right?
Smile.
So the ability to smile helps a lot. Easy extension.
Yes. Be approachable, be relatable, smile.
Can I say something?
I think. Okay, so I think beyond smiling, that's just a tip. It could just be cracking a little joke that could just ease the tension.
Thank you very much.
Icebreaker.
Because I was going to give a caveat on that. You know, some people tell terrible jokes.
Yeah.
So that you don't scatter.
So that the one will
you won't have the gift. See, being a facilitator does not necessarily make you a comedian.
Yeah.
But, and that's why I like the angle he now brought it again. You can use icebreaker. You can use any other technique. If maybe they've been telling in your village that your jokes are not funny, and so you don't want to go there. Sorry, 1 second.
Plan representation.
Plan representation. Please hold on, precious.
For the first presenter, I noticed that you begin with the title of the
Please use the mic.
So I think the title is very, very
Can't hear you.
Oh yeah, say it again.
Title of the presentation.
Yes. The first presentation, he didn't even begin, he didn't have a title.
Plan everything was.
So title your presentation. You know another technique I use sometimes, even when I can't figure out a title for my presentation, I throw it. I let you help me to title it. I say, I don't know how to title this, but you see ideas flying from everywhere. And then everybody comes up with a title. Are we good? Okay, Joy. Hey, sorry, I'm taking it off.
Sorry, it's not from this one, but I don't know if I could just add, it's not from this video, just listen. But like you need to respect your audience enough to practice before coming to present before them. Before you master your slides, your presentation, how to like let the ideas flow. Then
part of the plan.
Yes, it's part of it. He presented better because he knew what he was doing, but he didn't have to read.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, word by word again. And also, it's also good to also research, and the fact that he could research, tie up his past experience, but if he hadn't practiced that much, and he was just speaking his off paper, then he'd be reading word for word, because he's not sure of the next letter, the next word. So you respect your audience and to practice, and then research on the topic before you also present to your audience.
We have so many now. I think we'll take 2 more and then we'll cut it off. Please, let's take no. Have you spoken?
Yeah, he has.
Okay, what I want to say is we've already gone through it before, but I noticed that in the first video, each time he wants to put up the light, you call a person in particular and say, because a lot of people right now are having eye problems, so they should consider us also.
Are you trying to make a case? Which, of course, is a good case. So you should also be sensitive to your audience or participant too. Is there anybody who has light sensitivity? Remember when we were outside, I said, is there anybody who's allergic to the sun? Even though eventually I dismissed your appeal. Then I've always asked, should we leave the light on? Can you read with it? Right? And then we turn it off until I realize that some eyes are also closing. And so on. So please be flexible.
When you're presenting, it's very important.
Absolutely.
So you could be flexible in your presentation. Certain times, everybody's bored before you're doing that. If you can read the temperature in the room and assume that, you can be able to switch while presenting between different.
Gotten a very clear or good ideas of how to make a proper, good presentation. And I am actually fascinated, so I don't know if I'm putting into practice what we have done. I don't know if I'm doing it. Yeah, but I think I'm doing it because I'm actually maintaining eye contact. You're judging.
Eye contact is one place.
No. Like, how would you know? Because I've actually looked at a lot of people in this short time. So any comments? Feedback.
You are doing well, come and sit down.
A round of applause. I want to show you something about how to design a good workshop. How to design a good workshop. So when I'm doing this presentation, some of you will see some things you have been doing right. Some of you will see, oh, okay, I could do this, you know, and so on. So, this is Victor. Is that Victor? Or Joshua? Joshua. So he's wondering, how can I design a good workshop? He said, I think I'm happy we withdrew our proposal because this thing is not working.
Feedback.
You know what to do. You have to bring it back. Sometimes
It's flowing.
I'll just do it.
Let them be doing it from there.
And that was love for her.
Is that you? Oh, this is me. It's working now. Thank you. It's the battery. So, what it takes to do what? Everybody wants to go.
To design a good workshop. What it takes.
What it takes to do what?
Design a good workshop.
Thank you. So, one is workshop planning. And this is what I've said here. Workshop planning is no child's play. Some people will say you deliver, you are doing it so seamlessly, and they're like, no big deal now, pull it off. Please don't wing it, don't rough it. Try to plan, and that's what Francis was saying earlier. Planning is really essential. Planning a good workshop is more important than many things we do in that workshop, right? What it is, organization. Everybody, let's read together. 1, organization. 2, and a lot of what? Creativity. So how do you prepare for a workshop that will be not only relevant and productive, but also memorable? And that was one of my goals when I was coming here. Like, I want to make this memorable for you all. So that, and I hope we are doing that already. So define your goals. Your workshop always have to have what?
Goals.
Goals, thank you. Every workshop must have a goal. What do you want to achieve? Is it to teach managers how to be better organizers? Is it to teach team building? So you can look at my module. My module talks about facilitation, impact. So we can't do this module without practicalizing, without demonstrating some of the things we have been doing since yesterday. We have to show you. And that's why we also went outside to do as I do as I say, so that you realize that the mind and our actions sometimes are not in sync. So we have to be conscious of so many things. Many workshops are a waste of time because there's no clear goal, right? So it seems like you ask yourself, what did I now achieve today? What did I go to do? Do you know if you will live here right now without doing these other topics, some of you will be happy. Like, I've not wasted my time. Even if it's one activity. How many of you feel like there's one activity that has been a waste of time since yesterday? Even the plays as we're playing. I don't feel like there's any one. Even those ones that seem very random, just realize that you've gotten a lesson or two. Please remember, if you are feeling sleepy, you can stand. You are very free, or you can take the apple from the plant. So remember our SMART objectives, or SMART goals, as we want to call them. They have to be, what's the S? Specific. What's the M? Measurable. What is A? Achievable. What is R?
Results oriented.
Or realistic. Then what is T? Time bound. There's something else now. What they say? There's one last one. It's smarter, right? There's E. What's E? There's something, and then there's another R now.
Evaluation.
And E is evaluation. And there's another R now.
Re-evaluation. Man, can you go back to declare?
I like that. Evaluation and re-evaluation. What?
Declare. Can you go back there?
Okay, yeah. So the goals also have to be clear. I'm so sorry, I'm trying to rush. So what is the C or clear? Collaborative. Has it been collaborative so far? Yes. What is L? Limited. So the goal always has to be limited, and this limited is very similar to specific. So you can't say, I want to solve the problem of the world, and that's the goal of our meeting. You see, a problem per day makes Amarachi a sane woman. Here you get, so that kind of thing. So it has to be, your goal has to also be limited. What is E? Engaging. So your workshop and the goal have to be engaging. A, what is the A? Actionable. Actionable. Remember here it is achievable. But the way to achieve things is also to be able to take action on them. Like what we were doing yesterday, action planning. The way we've been planning actions sometimes has not worked. So what is the R? Refinable. Remember we talked about flexibility. Your goal has to be like you. In other words, you are flexible. So you can't set it, and that's why some organizations get it wrong, or some groups. When you form ground, you now say, no, this is our goal. From the beginning of time, so shall it be. But you know that realities are constantly changing as well. Nigeria today is not the same Nigeria of
10 years.
7 years ago.
They'll go for
7 years, exactly, about 10 years. you know. So your goal should be refinable. There's nothing like a rigid goal. So this is the goal. You see now, this is all of us. This is FES. This is me. Then these two are the people that came early.
Me and
The people that Pelemo is there because she came really early. Precious, is it me and her? Okay, you came early. Did you?
No.
Precious. So these are the people that came early. So you see what we are doing? We are building the puzzle to reach the goal. Decide who will attend. Some of you go to the workshop last say, because it's Wumi that is doing the workshop, Tracy must be there. It does not concern her, but she has to be there because, just because, you know. Then you get, or sometimes, let her not hear you. So, she didn't hear you. She didn't hear. Knowing who will attend directly relates to your objective. Now, no, what I'm saying here, I don't think I can couch that well. What I meant there is, the attendees of your workshop should be people who are directly related to your objective. So it's not a friends and family affair. So because that's if you are somebody who really wants to achieve, make impact and achieve results. Though, if he's come and chop, no, Allah, bring your family, let them come and chop and go. But if you really are result oriented, you have to ensure that the people you are inviting directly relate to your objective. Hey, if there are now additional slots, that's okay. Let me bring my sister who can also learn one thing or another. Or even assist. For example, if the workshop goal is to develop a detailed solution to a problem, you probably want 10 of you. So what I meant here is also, you have to determine your number. See, sometimes size, quantity doesn't determine good ending. So you don't want, this is not like brainstorming. Brainstorming, yes, you can even call your grandfather. Daddy, if I'm very grandpa, what's your opinion? Daddy, I'm to ask grandpa, what's his opinion about this? No, like brainstorming. But if you have to achieve serious results sometimes, especially on some key topics that's not meant for everybody, you have to decide, you have to be focused. We can't have 100 people in the room. We won't have real results. We will just make noise and go. So you want to have key people. So it's better to have a few number. And there are some workshops that maybe, what do we call this thing now? Behavioral change, just awareness creation, enlightenment. It's okay. Can bring 1 million people. Sensitization, you want to change behavior. Bring, it's even good. As many as possible. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. So everybody might not change at the end of the day, but you are increasing the chances of more people getting the message. Make a list of who needs to be there, blah, blah, blah. You know what goes wrong sometimes when you also don't have a proper list. Last minute, you know, this place is empty, people did not come. You now be calling people, please just bring anybody in your office, anybody you can get, and it does not the best. Choose the right, let's say this together, choose the right
location.
Yeah. So while thinking of location, don't look at the board. What are the things to think about? Accessibility. Thank you. Thank you, Precious. Accessibility.
Capacity.
Capacity of what? Of the location. Thank you.
Sound and light.
And light. Thank you.
Your needs.
Your needs versus the location. Thank you. Tech.
Yes.
You think of
Parking space.
conduciveness. Is that English?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Comfortability. Comfortability. Restroom.
Thank you. I thought you said conducivity. Unless our uncle. Yes. So you are considering people's comfort, comfortability. What else?
Cost.
Cost. Very important. You,
And against the budget.
are you? What did you say? Are you an economist?
I work in the
Okay,
finance.
Igbo. Thank you.
That settles it.
But they are saying it in a good way. I said that person cost.
He works in the
That
finance.
reminds me of something I heard. Okay, this is Emeka. That's Emeka. Emeka's teacher called Emeka's father, told Emeka to bring his father to school. Like, Emeka's father, what's going on? That we asked your son 2 plus 2, and he doesn't know. His father said, Emeka will know. He said no. So the teacher said, Emeka 2 plus 2. Teacher, no. The father said, Emeka 2 naira plus 2 naira. He said, Papa 4 naira. With currency.
Have currency.
So, thank you so much. You have said it all. These things are things you want to consider. Because some of us will fall into trap. Oh, everybody is using Sandalia now. Oh, let's go to Sandalia. And, sorry, I'm not demarketing Sandalia. So hotels are good. But you also want to think in terms of where will people be most relaxed, given the kind of thing you are facilitating. I facilitated, and when we had our meeting 3 days ago, I was saying it, that I would really love to have a session with you all in a garden. Honestly, no shoes, no in the garden. Let's just be there by the waters. I said this. So and really, sometimes you want to have a meeting on a mountain, not too high to climb. But there's something you all have also not mentioned. You consider who are the people in your audience. What is accessibility? Are there people who have special needs to reach that location? So if I'm thinking of a mountain top, and I have persons who probably use crutches, who are on wheelchair, am I thinking about them as well? Let it not be that minutes. When that person shows up, you say, hey, okay, we'll be bringing you tea break at the bottom of the mountain. And then, it doesn't make sense. So these are dynamics that you think about. Can you see these two examples?
Especially for nursing mothers.
For what? Nursing. Thank you. That's another example. So we've spoken about people with special needs. Also, nursing mothers and nursing fathers. Yes. So they have special needs as well. It's true. Do you know people do sympathy pregnancy? If your wife is pregnant and you're in this hall right now, you might be feeling cramps.
Yes.
You don't know, you're not seeing men that So for real, we have to consider, and that's why some of us are also pushing for paternity leave longer than what it is currently.
I push for that too.
Evil eyes. So look at what's the difference between these two workshops? That's the garden.
Outdoor, indoor.
Outdoor, indoor. Thank you very much. Outdoor, indoor. And you can't recognize somebody in this indoor, but that's my back. So let's move again. But before we move, I want us to do something. Now, please prepare your eyes. The light is coming on. Perfect. All rise. Shall we rise? Yes. And don't lie.
Alright. So Amarachi
Just say you follow like
yes.
So Amarachi, look at me and look at me the IDs.
you can't
child of God.
Oh, what? No, let me break that one. Sorry, I know you're already looking into our eyes. Do it with the person behind you.
My guy.
So
Demola, I like you because you dress so well. You compose your body yourself. And then you're my gossip partner.
Receive the challenge. So you do it, then you don't do it. Fatima. One house.
I like your commitment to
climate change
and using single-use plastic in our environment.
Wow, lovely.
I mean, so you give
yes.
Amarachi, I love your name, and just because you don't have name, and you have like your hair is very nice too.
What an easy way out.
Compassionate.
Oh,
she's really a nice person.
Oh.
And she knows how to look out for others.
Yeah.
Like really got something
ambitious.
Yes, from his introduction of himself the first time, I knew that this was
One house, please.
So that's the first thing I like about
Oh, thank you.
Stop talking.
So it's one house, one fam.
You will make us proud. Now one day you will make us proud.
Pass for Annie.
I like Annie because Annie is a very good team player. When they said the first group they did in lectures were together, he took charge of the group and things went very smoothly. So he played both a good leader and a good team player.
The fact that you're very energetic, you bring life to the group. And apart from that, you're kind of like a situational introvert when you need to be. You observe people when you need to observe. And you're actually very, very intelligent. And I love the fact that like you know a lot, like you're very knowledgeable and you use psychology on people sometimes, which is not, well, it's not a good thing sometimes, but yeah.
Nice one. Yeah.
Precious.
P2P.
Coming here, the first surprise I got was that I had someone that gets my name. It's a very important thing. You understand? It's a precious thing.
Speak up for it.
And I think I didn't really connect with you from the one because I felt we were opposite sides of a coin. But within the weeks, I've come to learn to respect you, your opinion, your diversity, and your ability to learn and accommodate people. It's one of the things that I admire so much. So thank you for changing my views and opinion about people in general. And I really appreciate the fact that
Being reciprocative. And she's also all these very calm people, but they strategize on the ground. Yeah, and I like that she's open to like learning.
Was the interview we met, but we didn't really chat. And he's a good listener and ready to listen to whatever you want to tell him. And he's ready to just help one way or the other. And I like the fact that he's very contributing.
Well, I was the first person you said before you came to the class, and you've been amazing since then. I think sometimes I just sit close and I'm learning even more than what I'm getting from the facilitator, because sometimes when it seems complex, she's gossiping to me and she's breaking it down. So sometimes I listen to the gossip skin of and I think she's well experienced in her field beyond her age, so sometimes I think she must have been doing this a long time. Thank you for all you do.
Starter. So I heard him talking to somebody and I said, why is this guy talking as if he's recording news or he's trying to tell something? Because I was just listening to everything he was saying. He's very, very knowledgeable. I like the fact that you are very knowledgeable about many things and that you are so involved in many things.
Like I'm trying to make sure that everyone is comfortable. So yeah, I really cherish that.
And she keeps us in.
John with Ose was on interview day. I chatted her over, I was coming with a baby and I would need someone to take care of, help me hold her while I'm having my session. And she responded, okay, my colleague will help out. And we just laughed about it some days ago when she went through the chat again. Ose is resourceful. And she's not shy, definitely not shy. And despite she's in the coordinating team, she still participates with everyone and makes us comfortable and flow along with her. Thank you, Seth. Tariq.
I can see you.
Okay, so I met Tariq yesterday, and at first when he came in, I was like, okay, they brought gadgets. I was like, no, doing all this camera, people with camera and a lot of bags. They usually have this kind of attitude that carry their driving and picture up and down. But like, he's actually been warm and he left his charger or his battery, was really, really polite, and we just had a way of flowing together and making the whole thing work in terms of exchange. I can see in terms of making everything come out in terms of coming and making everything come out well and not. But I just, in summary, it's been nice and it's just like, can you stop, please? In summary, is just a good, nice person to work with, and that's all.
Thank you, sir. A round of applause for us.
She's somebody I really respect and somebody I would love to work with over and over again.
How did that make me when you forgot your charger yesterday?
No, you were helping.
Oh, God.
You found a way for us to work.
Loretta and your team, I don't know who are the people that belong to your team. So they will just discuss briefly. You can bring your chairs forward.
What's going on?
Anyone wants to start?
Okay, I think because of time is well spent already, I think we should all go and ruminate on the ideas for the agenda, and we can come back with maybe feedback. What do you think?
This is unnecessary.
What is going on?
I think we should develop the ideas here before we go home. I don't know.
Just thinking about what you just said now, I don't buy the idea at all. I think I go more with the mother's point of view.
This fish
Loretta, I think she's listening to what they have to say, like what she had to say. I think you should listen to her. I know I brought it up initially, but I was kind of like connecting with other mothers. Good time is going, so maybe I'm sorry I had to call you, but thank you very much. You actually just
Can we give him a round of applause? You know what I like? The confusion on your faces. So where did we stop? Where did we stop? Facilitation. Connect. Spending these 1.5 days with you, and right now I declare an end to our module on group work. Thank you all, and I love you.
I'm calling on Faith to appreciate our facilitator for us.
I want to say thank you for you took a session on facilitation, and we saw what you were teaching us from you. We were learning from what you were teaching us, and we were learning from your experiences. We were learning from your stories, and you knew how to
be flexible enough to ensure that we got the best of the model, even though time was not on our side at most of the time. So I want to say thank you for being a good example of what you preach, and thank you for really making this a wonderful and model for us.
Thank you. I appreciate you all through faith. I appreciate you all. And John has to go, so maybe we should take the book for
Let us
good facilitation.
Hi guys, my name is Precious Anslem, and this past 2 days has been phenomenal. I've really enjoyed the session. I came in here with a perceived mindset about facilitation and all of that. But this past 2 days, there have been a lot of dissecting, unlearning, relearning. And the facilitator for this session was excellent in her delivery and approach. And it actually helped me to learn just by observing her alone. Now, the module in question has improved my facilitation skills and has made me a better facilitator than when I came in here. And this is going out to the FES for this wonderful initiative. The Open Mind Young Voices has really, really lived up to its goal in building us up and making us better than we were. And there is no place I would rather be than here. And trust me, I've enjoyed my time. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Pelimo Nyajo, and I was a part of the FES facilitation class. At first, I didn't really know what to expect from facilitation because I'm not really someone that really likes speaking so much, even though I'm a spoken word artist. But I think this class made me come out of my shell. Our facilitator specifically paid attention to me because I think she noticed that I was kind of in my shell, so she made me do things that I didn't really want to do. And she was very inclusive. which I always pay attention to because I'm a person living with disability. So Ms. Aderonke was really, really amazing, and I learned so much about facilitation, speaking, and working in groups. And apart from that, I learned that every little drop in an ocean is what makes up the ocean. So thank you so much for this class.
My name is Subendego Francis Chidozie. This week we had a session around group facilitation, and it was an awesome and amazing session for us. We were exposed to issues around techniques for having a good facilitation, how to make meetings work, how to create goals and achieve them with meetings. We were exposed to issues that we didn't even know of. For instance, I got to know that when I'm facilitating a meeting, I'm not necessarily the chairperson of that meeting. I also got to know that I mustn't be an expert on an issue before I will have to facilitate such a meeting. I even got to know that the design and how a program is facilitated will affect how the participants interact and the result that will be gotten from that program. So Ms. Aderonke Ige was so amazing. She brought everybody in. There was inclusivity. The class and sessions were participatory. We learned so many things. It was an open mind event. We thank FES OMYV for this opportunity to train youth, to expose them to activism, advocacy, and make them leaders in the society for a better Nigeria. Thank you so very much.
My name is Omotola Abidemi. I've been a participant of the group facilitation module of the Open Mind Young Voices organized by FES. So the facilitation has been extremely phenomenal. Personally, I facilitate classes and I've been able to unlearn, relearn, and learn things that can improve my own skills. I'm also grateful for the facilitator, Aderonke Ige, for her facilitation skills. She was very, very participatory. She shared personal stories in the process of transmitting knowledge, and I was inspired personally. Thank you very much, FES Open Mind Young Voices, for this opportunity.
My name is Joshua Dominic, and I want to say a very big thank you to FES first for this training. So the past 2 days has been quite engaging. Before I say anything, let me say that the facilitator understood the job and she delivered exceptionally well. I have been facilitating training over time, but sitting down the past 2 days, I unlearned everything I knew, from how to design workshop, from how to engage group, the different types of group, what you should do before you begin your session and all of them. And one key thing stood out for me, and that was that the experience of my participant depends greatly on how well I am able to design it. And then even from the videos that the short clips that we watched, I learned a lot of things out from them. And another key thing that stood out was that when I'm creating or facilitating training, I'm creating a temporary workspace that people can use to achieve their result and goals. Thank you so much, FES. Thank you so much, OMYV, for this great opportunity. Thank you, Aderonke Ige, for connecting well with us. Thank you.
My name is Obia Amrachi. I am a participant of the Open Mind Young Voices program. So today's module was on facilitation, and I would say the facilitator, Aderonke Ige, was very, very intentional about how the program design was. And this is actually the first time I actually volunteered by myself to do anything since the start of the program. I really enjoyed the program. I enjoyed how she carried each and every one of us along. It was very, very inclusive. She left no one behind. She ensured everyone spoke. She ensured we learned. So I am very, very grateful for this program. Thank you so much.
My name is Aderonke Ige, a human rights advocate and a development practitioner. I've been in the non-profit space for a while now, and development is my passion. So I work on the issue of gender justice, on mobilization, community organizing towards overall impact. With the FES Open Minds Young Voices initiative, I had the privilege of taking a session on working with groups as a tool for development. And in my module, you find facilitation skills, how to deal with difficult people in a group, and some very interesting topics. This year, 2022, I have worked with a lot of brilliant minds. In this cohort, I've been really excited. I've held 2 days session with them, and it's been all fun.
full of fun learning, was really engaging. I met brilliant minds that made it really easy for me to facilitate effectively. It's been really interesting. I've also learned from them. I've unlearned some things also, and I have relearned, some of the things I've known over the years. So I'm really excited. I'm a proud facilitator, and these guys make me really, really proud.